Hey everyone, welcome to Illegal Alien Racing. This is a race-by-race recap of the full 2018 Rental Kart League Racing Series at Dallas Karting Complex. This is my first time ever competing in Rental League Racing for a full season. I started the season off with a 10th place qualifying session, followed by an 8th place finish in the pre-final, which started me 8th in the pre-final. After a second turn kart wreck, which involved the first ever kart flip in league racing, we had a single file restart to restart the race. I mainly stayed in 8th place, but took advantage of a couple of driver errors and unfortunate situations for other drivers to work my way up as high as 6th place. Here you can see Jeff, who was the leader at the time, have a mechanical issue with this car, which is extremely rare, and was able to put me into 6th place. I slowly fell all the way back to 8th place, but was able to attempt a late race lunge on the very last lap to try to get up to potentially 6th spot. Unfortunately, the move didn't work, and I started the racing season as an 8th place finisher in the final. After massive thunderstorms in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, race 2 was going to be a full wet race. I qualified 3rd and was in good position to start the pre-final. The track was completely soaked and it was extremely slippery. I was able to make a move on lap 2 and held on to first place the entire race and was able to fend off a late charger to win the pre-final race. I started on pole position for the final race of the night. The track was getting dry, but it was still slippery and still pretty sketchy. Being cautious, 2nd place got around me and took the lead, which I was okay with because I was able to pace with him and keep him within striking distance. He did make a mistake late in lap 8 where he slid out and I was able to get underneath him and get back into the lead. I was able to hold on to the lead and brought home the victory. It was a great night, winning both the pre-final and the final. I started in 3rd place and got as high as 2nd on the opening lap, but was later freight trained into 5th place at the end of lap 3. I took advantage of driver errors to slowly work my way back up to 3rd, only to give the spots back to other drivers I just couldn't pull away from. Despite their karts being just a bit faster, I was able to stay competitive due to their constant battling with each other. This would pay off big time later in the race. On the last lap in 5th place and too far away to make up any spots, 4th and 3rd place started battling for the last podium position, which allowed me to get close enough and attempt and pull off probably the move of the year for me that got me back into 3rd place. I was able to hold them off the rest of the lap and finished on the podium. Race 4 was again run in the opposite direction than we normally run in, which is my favorite. The pre-final was rough to say the least, with lots of bad driving on display. Chris there in the blue shirt, who has since developed into a clean racer, took it upon himself to be a test pilot to see how well the side bumpers performed. He wasn't the only one, and this may have been the roughest race of the year. I tried to lean on Chris late in the race by pushing him really wide, but that method clearly didn't work. The final was fairly uneventful after making another 2-for-1 move early in the race. I battled a lot of the race with the most legendary kart to ever race at Dallas Karting Complex, Kart 26, and was in 3rd place from laps 3 to 11 before finally succumbing to the Mercedes of rental karts and finished just off the podium in 4th. Race 5 was easily the best, most dramatic, and most fun race of the year. There were 7 karts from 1st to 7th all battling with each other for the lead during the first 7 laps of the race. This race called for patience, timing, all of the rental kart skill you could muster, and of course a little luck. There were several position changes in the first several laps and I didn't know where I'd end up. Illegal Alien Racing introduced Juan Cam for the very first time and it didn't disappoint. Viewers got to ride along with an emotional and vocal Juan. At this point in the season, I was in a battle for first overall in points with Russell. On lap 8, kart 15 dive bombed Russell in turn 10 and almost took him out. He was able to recover and maintain the lead. 2 laps later, Russell locked up the rears while battling with kart 15 for the lead and opened the door for me to get to 2nd place. Given how the race went, I was cautious trying to pass kart 15 for the lead and was unable to do so. I held off a hard charging Juan and barely beat him to the line. Kart 15 was penalized a few spots for the dive bomb on Russell, and as a result, I was awarded the win. Race 6 brought us a slight configuration we'd never seen before, and it certainly caused problems for a few of the racers. After qualifying 6th, I was able to get into the lead on lap 6 and went on to win the pre-final race. Blue shirt Chris and his aggressive, kind of illegal, and definitely frowned upon driving style severely agitated Juan, but made for a better Juan cam experience. Hey Juan, what happened, dude?
Well, you can't be racing while pushing somebody up the track because the whole track is over here.
What do you think about Facebook stock taking a big hit yesterday?
Who?
Facebook stock taking a big hit. What do you think about that?
I'm fine. They just need to learn how to drive.
Juan and Blue Shirt Chris made up after the race and sent each other Christmas cards in early December each year. After starting on pole in the final, I got into an early race for the lead with Russell. I was passed by him on lap 6 and eventually fell back as far as 5th place. I struggled to keep the kart competitive but stayed close enough to capitalize on a late and rare second to last lap mistake by Russell. I finished in 4th place, but more importantly, ahead of Russell, who I was battling with for the overall championship in the heavies class at this point. We draw our carts by picking out a small folded piece of paper from a cup with a cart number on it, and that's your assigned cart. In the second to last race of the season, in a very tight championship battle, I decided it was time to gamble. I chose from the top of the cup versus the bottom, and the gamble worked as I drew a cart fast enough to put on pole position. In the pre-final, I fell back to 3rd and was seemingly resigned to finish there. But just like in the first race, some very late last lap battling between 1st and 2nd gave me an opportunity to make a move for the win. And just like in the first race, the move didn't work and I finished 3rd. There's a 3-kart breakaway in the final. I saw my opportunity after the leader went wide in turn 10 and left me a slight gap. I did a Max Verstappen impression and passed off track, or Dale Earnhardt if that's your preference, and made a pass in the grass. Unlike Verstappen, I was fearful that the team's principal was going to get on the radio to our race steward, whose name is Mark, and exclaim, "No, Marky, no, Marky, that is so not right." So I did the smart thing and gave the position back. I fell back slightly during the race, but again was close enough to capitalize on a last lap battle between 1st and 2nd place. I made a second to last turn pass attempt, but my application was rejected and I finished in 3rd. After Russell won the pre-final race and I finished 2nd, I was only 13 points ahead of him in the championship points total. He was definitely dialed in this night and easily pulled away for the win. Knowing I would win the championship if I just stayed put, there was no reason to take chances and find trouble. Well, trouble tried to find me on lap 4, as 3rd place attempted a very late move into a corner and almost spun me out. I continued on after spewing a few choice words. That driver apologized after the race, and it's all good. I finished in 2nd in this race, which gave me enough points to win the overall championship in the heavies class. Russell finished 2nd overall. It was a very fun and enjoyable season. Let me know what you think of the season recap, as it's my first time doing one. Look for a recap of the 2019 season and beyond in upcoming videos. Thank you for your time, and I will see you on the next one. Y'all take it easy.